What's up, guys? It's Tom here. I'm about to do another breakdown, cleaning, polishing, ramp feed or feed ramp polishing for this firearm. It is a Raven Arms 25 auto. It is my wife's gun. I took it shooting today. I took my son with me. He wanted to shoot Mama's gun. Had a blast. It's always a good time to shoot with your kids. But anyways, he loved it. He loved it. The firearm had one failure to feed. So the gun, had a misfire. He put the gun down quickly. I got to clear the gun and continued on to have a good day. But, this is my wife's defense gun. This is what she's going to carry when she gets her concealed carry license. And I don't need it having failure to feeds if she needs the gun in a pinch. So first of all, as you can see, magazine is empty. It is not in the firearm. Chamber is empty. All right, safety check is done. Once again, I do not think that you should always dry fire your weapon, but in the sake of safing it, make sure that firing pin is in the full forward position. It's not going to accidentally strike a phantom round that magically appears in the gun that you just saved, because you always treat a gun like it is loaded. So, moving on. All right, what we're going to do today is, put that aside, we're going to break this thing down, and we're going to try to polish the feed ramp, polish some other components, and get the gun to where there's no more failures to feed. So first thing, you'll have this little piece here. You're gonna push it in. That's gonna release this little lip. You can lift the slide right off the frame. Be careful when you do that, because you have your recoil spring, which this is itty bitty for this little bitty gun. Anyway, you have your recoil spring, and then you're gonna have your firing pin spring as well. So make sure that you don't lose any of those components. Okay. Once you take those apart, I'm going to set all that aside and make sure you remember how it goes. Excuse the dirtiness of this gun. We just fired it today, and this will also serve as my cleaning as well. All right, so there's that. Next piece I'm going to be looking at is this piece right here. This is the firing pin catch, and it is remarkable how similar this gun is to my Cobra arms. But anyways, what happens is when you pull your trigger, that piece lowers and it releases the firing pin. Now, what I'm doing is I'm just polishing this so that the slide can slide back over it better, and then I'm going to polish the backside so it's smoother whenever you pull the trigger. Once again, I'm not taking any metal off. I am using 2000 grit sandpaper, and I'm just rubbing it until it is shiny. Shinier than that, anyway. Just to make it smooth. And yeah, then I'm also going to take out the trigger, and I'm going to polish the bottom of the trigger, because there should be machine lines on the bottom of this trigger assembly, and those rub on the frame a little bit, and it has a grittiness in the trigger, and we all know that we don't like to feel grittiness in the trigger. So that's going to be what I'm doing to this one today. So yeah, let's get started, I reckon. If I can find a flat head. Alright, I'll be right back. I'm going to go find some tools, because apparently I don't have all my tools ready for this job. Okay, and I'm back. So, got this feed ramp all polished up. You can see there, it is a very shiny. Got the barrel cleaned out. Looking pretty good in there. Rifling's pretty solid, so... man, this is a fun little gun, I'll tell you what. It's, I think it shoots high. We were shooting at 7 yards today, which is, I think that's pretty average for like what they, how far they test you for your CHL, concealed handgun license, or your CC, whatever you call it, your concealed license. But anyways, so I got it polished up. It's looking good. I'm going to get this thing put back together and do a function check. I'm not going to put it back together on the tape because it is already becoming a long video. But anyways, just a brief overview what I've done for this Phoenix Arms 25 auto. I've polished the feed ramp and I cleaned it after shooting today. Took out the trigger group and I kind of polished up the bottom of that trigger for where it slides. I'm also going to polish up the sides before I put it back together. I took the firing pin catch mechanism, whatever you want to call it. I think it's the sear, but that's neither here nor there. So I polished up the ramp and I polished up the catch side, smoothing it out a little bit, hoping to smoothen up the action a little bit. I'm doing nothing with the springs. I'm not doing any cutting springs or any of that silly trigger job stuff. I'm going to leave it just like it is, put it back together, and hopefully those few things are going to smoothen out this handgun. My review on this pistol is I trust my wife with this gun. I trust this gun to protect her if she needs it to. You're not going to win a match competition with it. You're not going to, you're not going to be tack driving it any more than probably, 5 yards. You're on target at 7 yards, which is about what it needs to be. Anything past that, I don't know if I'd make a bet on I can shoot better than you with this firearm. But 5 to 7 yards is right on, and obviously point blank, you don't really care about target placement because it's right there. You're just gonna hit it and get away. But it is a good firing gun. It does function. I trust it to work every time. Especially now that I've polished the feed ramp and done these few things to it. I think it's going to be even more bulletproof. It's a good gun. It's going to work for you. It's going to do what it needs to do. So that's it. I'm going to get this thing put back together, and then I'll be back for the function check and I'll let you know how it feels. And once again, I'll do a full, after I shoot it again, let you guys know how much it helped out. So, all right, guys, take it easy. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Now, I've already done this gun. We've seen that. I just got this one put back together. So, before we get started, no magazine. Empty. Alright, this one is also no magazine. Empty. Okay, set that one aside. Because we are on this one. The Phoenix, or Raven, I'm sorry. Phoenix, Raven, Phoenix. Okay, so, got it back together. I have been playing with it now. I did my function check already, but just to show you. You can see it's loaded. Now it is decocked or dry fired. It feels great. This gun feels way smoother. After I did that, it just feels like a whole different gun. The same with the Cobra. It also feels like a way different gun. If you own either of these firearms, the first thing is that they are remarkably similar. They look exactly the same on the inside. Sorry. They look this exact same on the inside, with the one difference is that the barrel on the Cobra can be removed. It cannot on the Raven. But I have 100% confidence that both of these guns are going to operate way better now that we have polished up the feed ramps, polished up the firing pin catch mechanism, done all that, polished up the triggers so that they slide through the frame a little bit easier, and just all that good stuff. I think one thing that I noticed, I'm not going to do it right now, but one thing that I noticed is the lever that the trigger pushes back on, and that pushes on another lever which moves the firing pin release mechanism. I'm going to polish the surfaces at which those touch each other. Polish those up. Maybe that'll smoothen it up a little bit more. But first, I'm going to do another control shooting day, see how these work out, and see if we've gotten rid of the failure to feed issue. If not, I will do some more polishing and I will figure something else out. And if that doesn't fix it, then I'm just going to leave well enough alone and just use it for what it is and have fun with it. That's it, guys. All right, keep on shooting, have fun shooting, be safe, be courteous, keep the tradition alive. This is Tom. Deuces.